Hello and welcome. Today, we're revisiting the ongoing saga surrounding Prince, the Duke of York, a figure whose role within the royal institution remains both uncertain and contentious. Despite a recent public appearance that suggested a possible softening in attitudes, a new incident signals that the road to redemption is anything but smooth. Just when some thought Prince's presence at the traditional Easter Sunday gathering might indicate a slow reintegration into the royal fold, a fresh development has cast doubt on that idea. It seems the Duke encountered a rather conspicuous exclusion, one that happened right in his own backyard, figuratively and quite literally. Before we delve into the full story, let's briefly set the stage. Prince stepped away from official duties several years ago, following widespread backlash over his links to Geoffrey. As a result, he relinquished his military titles and charitable patronages, drastically reducing his public role. Since then, his appearances have been limited and carefully curated, mostly restricted to private events or family occasions, such as Remembrance Sunday, where he has attended without wearing military uniform. His recent appearance at George's Chapel in Windsor for the Easter service caught the public's attention. Though he kept a low profile, he did walk alongside senior family members, including His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen. Some viewed this as a subtle signal, a potential olive branch, or at least a gesture of quiet support within the family circle. Seen strolling with his former wife, Sarah, the Duchess of York, with whom he still resides at Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate, appeared calm, perhaps even cautiously optimistic. However, any hopes that this event marked a turning point were quickly dashed by what followed. It has come to light that Prince was not invited to a formal dinner hosted just days later, within the grounds of Windsor Castle. This was no ordinary dinner. It was held in honor of school, the distinguished Scottish boarding institution with deep ties to the royal family and significant meaning for the Duke himself. What makes this exclusion particularly striking is that the evening's host was none other than his sister, Princess Anne. She presided over the dinner in her official capacity as warden of, underscoring her long-standing relationship with the school. And yet her brother, a former student, just like His Majesty the King and their youngest sibling, the Duke of Edinburgh, was absent from the guest list. A close acquaintance of the Duke reportedly shared that would have been pleased to attend had he received an invitation. Meanwhile, a spokesperson issued a brief, carefully worded statement, noting that Her Royal Highness hosted a small and intimate gathering. This emphasis on exclusivity may have been an attempt to downplay the apparent snub, but given the context, the location, the host, and the shared educational history, the omission remains significant. To fully grasp the weight of this, it's worth remembering the royal family's deep-rooted connection to the school. Located near Elgin in northeastern Scotland, is known for its emphasis on discipline, resilience, and service. It was championed by the late Duke of Edinburgh, who saw great value in its philosophy and insisted that his son, then the Prince of Wales, attend despite the heir's discomfort with its rigorous lifestyle. Later, both Prince and Prince Edward followed in their father's footsteps. Interestingly, Princess Anne did not attend herself, as the school only began admitting girls and became co-educational in the early 1970s, after she had completed her own education. Nevertheless, she has maintained a close connection to the institution for decades, supporting it through visits, events, and now, her role as warden. Given all this, Prince's exclusion from the dinner becomes more than a mere oversight. It represents a poignant symbol of his diminished role. The dinner, celebrating a school that played such a prominent role in his youth and family life, took place not only without him, but under the leadership of a sibling with whom he shares that history. And yet, he was not present, not even included. The decision to exclude him may reflect more than personal sentiment. Princess Anne is known for her principled, no-nonsense approach to royal duties. It's plausible that her actions align with a broader policy set by senior figures within the institution, particularly His Majesty the King, to draw a clear line between personal and public roles, especially concerning the Duke of York. Even as Prince remains part of the family on a personal level, events like this one suggest that he remains unwelcome in any official or semi-official capacity. While his walk at Easter might have hinted at a private form of reconciliation or tolerance, this dinner paints a more rigid picture of institutional boundaries. Itself is one of the United Kingdom's most prestigious independent schools, with annual tuition now totaling over £61,000. Beyond the royal family, it has educated numerous notable individuals, including filmmaker Jones, son of musician David Bowie, and actor Jason, son of the late Sir. The school's global reputation remains strong, though it, like many private institutions, faces increasing financial pressure. In fact, the dinner occurred just as the United Kingdom government ended the long-standing exemption of private school fees from value-added tax, a shift that will increase costs for families and place added strain on institutions like. This makes events designed to engage alumni and supporters even more crucial, which, ironically, underscores absence. In normal circumstances, his presence would have been both expected and welcomed. Returning to the implications for Prince, the lack of an invitation serves as a quiet but powerful reminder. His path to public rehabilitation remains blocked. The symbolism of the event is hard to ignore. His exclusion from a dinner tied to both personal history and shared tradition signals a broader reality, that his role remains circumscribed to private family functions, and even there, it is carefully managed. So, what does this tell us about the Duke of York's future? For now, it seems clear there is no plan to restore him to any official duties. Each decision, each small event or lack thereof, contributes to the broader message that the institution will prioritize its long-term image and integrity over any individual's personal redemption arc. The juxtaposition of the Easter gathering and the dinner highlights this balancing act. On one hand, the family allows for appearances that demonstrate personal unity. On the other, it draws firm lines around formal participation in institutional events. This nuanced approach allows senior royals to maintain familial ties while protecting the monarchy's reputation in the public eye. In sum, what might appear on the surface to be a minor social slight actually carries significant weight. It speaks to ongoing efforts to manage the royal family's image, navigate sensitive family dynamics, and uphold institutional boundaries. A complex task that will likely continue to shape the Duke of York's trajectory for the foreseeable future. We are curious to hear your thoughts. Do you view this exclusion as a deliberate statement, or simply the result of a private event being kept small? How do you interpret Prince standing within the family today? Feel free to share your perspective in the comments section. Your voice is always welcome here. And of course, if you enjoy thoughtful discussions about royal matters, we invite you to join us again for more updates and insights. Thank you for spending time with us today. We look forward to seeing you soon for another royal reflection.